fucking confused. I'm just confused. It's chapter 8 and they just found the killer of the, like, what was presented at the what?
Was it the butler the whole time?
No, it was some...
Was it the main character?
No, I can't say.
Was it the car? Was it a ghost car? Was it
A car didn't kill the guy,
dog? Was the street? Was the lamp?
I just don't know what the rest of the book's about, and I'm not enjoying it enough to want to finish it. At this point, I'm like, okay, cool, we're done. It's a 60-page book. That's all I need.
Do you want me to let you read? It's work.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about the books that I read this month and what I thought of them. So, I'll start with Dune. I actually tried to read Dune last year and I could not get into it. I read about 70 to 80 pages and there just wasn't enough going on for me. I did not find it interesting at all. We hadn't even made it to Dune yet at that point, so I just put it down. But I picked it back up this month because I heard that the audiobook was really good, and I can confirm 10 out of 10 audiobook. I don't think I would have read it if the audiobook hadn't been so nice, but it was like casted, but the narrator was really good and he did a lot of different voices. That made it very enjoyable. And then the book itself, like the actual plot and stuff, I did end up really liking. Like after we actually got on the planet and things started happening, it actually got really good. It just took a long time for it to get to that point. Another book I read was The Girls, and I was really looking forward to this book, but I ended up not really liking it. I felt like it just kind of idolized the trauma that people went through in this cult. and the reason that I say like idolize is I feel like it's good to talk about trauma. I think everybody should talk about, not everybody should. People that want to talk about trauma should talk about their trauma and, you know, helping other people move through it. And I think what I didn't like about this book is that it told about all this trauma, but our character never moved through it. And I didn't like the way that she spoke about her younger self. Like, there was no compassion for her younger self that went through all this stuff and had no idea what they were going through, and knowing it as an adult, like, she never like forgave herself. It just doesn't seem like she ever processed it. So it's like this great book discussing the trauma that someone could go through in this cult, but there was never the conclusion of moving through it, which I feel like is an important part of talking about trauma, because I think if you don't move through it, then you just idolize it, and that becomes like a part of your personality, which is not that's not a healthy view of trauma. Anyway, I was not a big fan of this book, to put it simply. Speaking of books, I was not a big fan of Close Up. This is a book that I bought at the library. It was a blind date with a book. It's like set in the 1930s, so what the blind date with a book said was like 1930s romance, thriller, like mystery. And I felt like I was reading a first draft of a book. Like, there were a lot of inconsistencies in the writing. There was a lot of repetitiveness as well, like the same phrases used within like paragraphs of each other, and just saying the same thing in a different way over and over again. Like, I don't know, it just seems like nobody read through it and was like, oh, that's unnecessary, this is unnecessary, that's a repeat. Like, there was no edit, like this was just the first draft and it was published. It's kind of how I felt about it. And there were like 3 different plots throughout this book. So there was like 60 pages of one plot, like 100 pages of another plot, and then like 2 pages of the third plot. It was just really, I did not like it. I don't know what else to say. It was $5 though, so yeah, if I had paid the actual price of $17, I probably would not be happy, but I only paid $5 for it, and I really didn't want to read it. I didn't want to finish it. You saw that earlier in the video. I was just not vibing with this book at all. And the last book I read in February was Little Fires Everywhere. At first, I don't know, I liked it better than The Girls and Close Up, but I am not sure that I would rate it highly. It wasn't super interesting to me until we got to the part that was about Mia's life and her backstory, and I found that really interesting. And it did tie together a lot of the other plot lines in the book, but it wasn't my thing. I don't think it was bad. Like, I don't have as many things to say about it as this book or as this one. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Probably just wasn't what I was looking for at this moment. I also, oh my gosh, I forgot. I wanted to say about this book, the last line in this book is about a dog, and I find it really weird when books like sum up the whole thing with a character that was not the main character. Like, this was about the dog that there were like 2 paragraphs about previously, and in this book it was like the rich family's mom was the one that was like thinking and going through everything, and I don't know why we ended with her. It just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, in the storyline it did, like the events that were going on and what she was talking about, but like the book as a whole, I was just like, I didn't want to be summed up with her. Like, I don't get it. So those were all the books that I read this month. Overall, a pretty bad month for reading. Dune was definitely my favorite out of the 4, and then I would have to say Little Fires Everywhere, and then The Girls, and then Close Up. I'm just missing, you know? I'm looking for hits, and I'm just missing them. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope your reading is going a lot better than mine has been. I'm actually really excited for my March reads. I'm going to be reading The Fellowship of the Ring. I already finished The Alchemist, which I really liked. That was a hit. That was a hit for me. I'm going to be finishing The Atlas 6, which I also started last year. And then I'm also reading Think and Grow Rich. So I will update you guys next month. I'm looking forward to reading. Thanks for watching.